Hello everybody. I haven't made any videos for quite a while. A lot of that has to do with attitude. My attitude has been in the toilet for making videos and various other things in life. My health hasn't been the greatest. Way overweight. You may not see it here because you see my face. I stand up, you'll see it. I'm about 50 pounds overweight. Good news is I've dropped 10 pounds in the last couple of weeks with a huge diet change. Now, people tell me you don't stay on diets, but I don't know. I kind of have to stay on this one. Yeah, I don't stay on this one. I've probably only got about 5 years left in me. I stay on this diet, I'll probably make another 30. So I gotta follow my diet. My brother's really good at coaching me on it and nagging me, but he's my brother. That's what they're for. Love you, brother, just in case you find this video somehow. I don't think you will. But anyhow, having said that, being overweight, going through all the drama I've gone through in the last year and a half due to 2 or 3 people who can either not follow a legal document or a contract, has put me in a really bad place for a while, okay? Divorced 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know how long because I really don't keep track of it. Relationships aren't good there. We're not going to go any further than that. My children are still wonderful. And yeah, they are the main reason I exist right now. Let's leave it at that. I do everything for them. When they're in my household, everything ceases except for them. It's causing me a few problems here and there, but you know, it is what it is. You have to take care of your kids. So, moving forward with this channel, I've been trying to decide if I revive it or not. I've gotten encouragement from a few of the people in the modeling community, people I used to talk to on a fairly regular basis who've been like, when are you going to get back to that? Well, I don't know for sure when I'm going to get back to it. I get motivated to come up here and work for a little bit, and then I quit. Get motivated to come work, and then I quit. I'm cycling up and down. I'm not financially secure right now. Again, see earlier comments. 2 or 3 people cannot follow their legal obligations or their contracts. And because of this, I have a lot of problems on my hands. I do have legal recourse to sue every party involved, but that takes money, which I currently don't have. Other thing is, well, again, motivation, attitude. How do I feel? Dropping weight and exercising will help a lot of that. And on my other channel, I'll outline what I'm doing because I think some people would be interested. I'm also thinking about starting to include my kids pretty heavily on the other channel. They watch a lot of YouTube. They don't really watch TV. And I monitor what they watch before any of you make comments that it's not safe for kids. I monitor them pretty heavily. Not to be a nosy parent, but I tell them that they can't be on their phones, and if they're going to watch YouTube, it's got to be on the TV. That's how you fix the nosy parent problem. They're watching it, and you walk in the room, and they're watching it. So it's not really me. They don't feel like I'm intruding in their lives. Okay? Except for my eldest, I can't. I'm finally getting her to start to understand why you stay off the phone. Finally. It's taken a while. But getting back to this, I have a 3D printer. I am going to put the 3D printer on my other channel, not here, unless it's model related. If I'm building some sort of model that would classify for this channel, I'll put it here. I have one in front of me right now. This is my 4th video on this because I keep trying to use both cameras and the video software just crashes. Anything else I find is either extremely expensive, wants a pretty decent monthly fee, and even then it crashes or it's slow or it's just not doable. I'm trying something today. I'm taking all the video from these cameras and converting them all to MP4s and seeing if that will work in the software. If it does, well, then I'll go back to multi-cameras again. It's kind of hard to sync the cameras, but I'm getting it figured out. My ultimate goal would be to do what I used to do with I think it was called OBS and the Stream Deck, and have 2 or 3 cameras plugged into a laptop at one time, and having the Stream Deck set up so I can flip between the different cameras. I know that's possible. I know it's still feasible. I know the Stream Deck still works that way. If you saw it where I'm sitting right now, you would know that I have this set up to work that way. I set this up years ago that way. Okay? Anyhow, I'm rambling. Models. Here is the remnants of one I was trying to build. I'm calling this remnants because I screwed it up right and left. Here's the nose cone. Okay? I screwed this boy up right and left, all over the place. Yes, the camera's shaking because it's on a long, movable camera mount. But anyhow, I screwed this boy up everywhere. If you look right inside there, I glued a part in upside down, tried to remove it, and, well, it couldn't be removed. One thing about this silk PLA, the shiny blue, it's not very strong. I mean, the strength, the white PLA is much, much stronger than the silk. In fact, PLA, if you go watching strength tests on YouTube, is one of the stronger filaments you could use, which surprises everyone. Every time they make these strength videos, they find out PLA is like the 2nd or 3rd strongest filament, and they freak out. That's plain PLA. That's without the silk. It's without a few other things. It's actually fairly strong. The problem is you have to glue it either with this stuff, which I cannot afford right now. I'll have to check, because the last time I checked, it's like $50 a bottle. It's probably price dropped down to where it's affordable and I can start buying it again. And if I can, I'm going to start using it, because that stuff is really the best way to glue it. Super glue or epoxy resin. Now, when I'm desperate, I use epoxy resin. I glued this nose cone together, and it came apart with super glue pretty quickly. That tells me that there are some issues in there. Some of you will say, well, you need to clean your surface. Well, this is straight off the printer. PLA is not very oily or greasy, so it shouldn't have anything on there. There's no fingerprints or oils. Not to mention, the glue bond was so strong right in here that the plastic pulled apart first. And I've got various other pieces where, of the broken parts, where the plastic pulled off first. Okay? And yeah, you can very easily see that the glue is strong enough. There's just something weird with this joint. So, I can't reprint more of these because I don't have the blue, but I did print enough to get this made. This is a new version, completely reprinted. This joint right here where it was kept coming apart is a 5-minute epoxy. It's not coming apart this time, okay? You will notice that I did do some color changes on the back. I didn't like this part being in white the first time I printed it, so I printed it in the blue this time, and it looks much better, blends in so much better on the back. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this, review these things. I'll put a link to this model. It's on MakerWorld. I do have a Bambu printer, a Bambu X1 Carbon. To be specific, I got cat hair on this thing. How the hell did I get cat hair on this thing? I don't know. Those cats find a way, don't they? But I will put a link to it. This is from the video game No Man's Sky. I've got two pieces left to glue onto this thing. I'm going to glue them on while I'm talking to you all. I'm not painting this model. Paint is going to be something I'm going to find very challenging as if I start getting back into this stuff. I'll close this channel out if I'm going to not go back to it. I haven't closed it out yet because I feel like I'm going to continue building somewhat. Okay? Just putting glue on it. You can see the glue. Okay? I got the wing that goes on that side. This is the wing that goes on that side, and I'm going to glue it in. Okay? Once it's glued in, these will stay in place pretty well. That's going to stay there. Okay? So you can get a side profile of this thing. It's not a bad model. It could use from some smaller detail greeblies, but again, this came from a video game. So please keep this in mind. If I push too hard on this part, this part is pretty hollow. If I push too hard on it, I am going to break it. Here's one I broke earlier. Let's see if I got another one sitting here. Yeah, here's another one I broke earlier. So you can see the inside of the part and how hollow it actually is. Let's get that on there correctly. So it's not extremely strong. I can crush that with my fingers if I push down hard enough, okay, without trying too hard. So I'm going to hold this for a few minutes. I'm also using Hobby Lobby Super Glue, which is a mistake if you ask me. And I call that a mistake because, well, it's not the mistake. The mistake is I'm using the blue one instead of the pink one. This pink one cures up really quickly. The green one, sorry, I'm colorblind. This is blue. This is green. The green one cures up slowly. In other words, it's not going to be cured for at least 20-30 minutes, which is quite annoying when you're talking about super glue and how quick it usually is. But this is 20-30 minutes right here. So I'm liable to just glue this one wing on, let it sit, and then come back and glue this other one on. I glued this up last night, so I know this is okay to handle. Okay? Yeah, and I hear creaking when I'm moving my hands around this thing. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I don't have this blue anymore. I know where to order it, but it won't be quite the same shade. Okay? Other things I'm planning on doing on this channel, I do have a bunch of these 3D printed models. I have a model of a jet engine that actually rotates, a turbofan. I have a model of various video game items like guns and knives. I'll put them on this channel because they are models and they follow along the lines of what this channel was always for. I have a couple other actual sci-fi type models. They are models that are printed. I'll go ahead and put them on this channel. Again, paint. I don't know how quickly I'll get to paint. The paint booth still works, still connected. I still have most of my paints, although I don't know how good they are, if they've evaporated out of the jar or not. We'll find that out, and there goes a lot of money if they have. Okay? And yeah, I still have this stuff. I've been selling my model stash. I've sold probably about 10% of it, 15% on eBay. I'm going to start listing more of it on eBay this week, and next week I'll put my link to my seller page in the video notes. Keep in mind I'm going to eBay prices, okay? Now, that may sound good, it may sound bad, but sometimes eBay prices are lower than Amazon prices, and sometimes they're higher. It just depends on the subject. For example, the Enterprise from the new show, I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, Strange New Worlds. I bought that a year ago in Colorado at a hobby shop for like $90, and that was going price on on Amazon at the time. So the guy wasn't ripping me off. He was a big hobby shop. He had a lot of traffic through there. And I sold it on eBay for, I think, $60, $50, somewhere in there. I took a good loss on that one. So eBay prices aren't always what you think they are. A lot of the round 2 Star Trek models go for $20, $30 each. Only a few selected ones are actually kind of pricey. For example, the Romulan from the Wolf in the Fold, I'm sure I've got the title of that one wrong, Season 1 original series, that model kit, doesn't matter if it's an old collector item or it's the round 2 release, it still goes for over $100. Okay, the Maquet kits were surprising me. Kits I knew were $100 years ago are selling for $40 or $50. So, yeah, eBay prices, don't poo-poo them. You probably can get a few things from me there at a reasonable price. Unfortunately, up next is a huge pile of Gundam kits. There is a Gundam seller group on Facebook, and I wouldn't have to pay the 20% to eBay. But I can't figure out the pricing, and no one helps me. And I have some very rare Gundam kits that have been out of print for 5 to 10 years. So those kits should fetch a premium. I have some P-Bandai kits too. That's probably glued on there enough I can let it go. All right. So you're wondering what I've been doing with my model stash. You now know what I've been doing with it. I've been selling it on eBay. The other thing I'm going to put on here, and again, here's an example of a prop. This piece did not print correctly because the front of it is beveled. It should be flat all the way across. there is a good version of it laying around here somewhere. There it is, where I've glued the parts up already. All the 2 parts. It's missing 2 parts. Here's the good version of it. It's from the video game Starfield. This is a Novolite blaster. It needs weathering. It needs to look a lot better than this. Since I screwed this up, it's my blank. It's my practice piece. And this is unpainted PLA. If I paint it, I know exactly how it's going to behave. But I don't know how it'll behave unpainted. So I'm going to practice on this blank since I screwed it up and I can't use it. See how it's rounded here on the front? Oh, don't break that. And look at this over here. It's not rounded in the front. It's square. I figured out how to fix this. It took 2 or 3 tries. Where I'd get the first 5 or 6 layers down. Notice this nose pulling up off the build plate. And I finally figured it out. I put a pretty wide brim on it. And that stopped it from lifting up. Okay? The brim is pretty easy to clean off, and it really doesn't matter that much because there's a piece that goes over the top here. As you can see here, there's a piece that goes over the top. So the way this looks right here, and it looks kind of horrible across here, okay? Doesn't really matter because it gets covered up. And most of this looks good. Again, you cannot read the text right there on it. You can't see the panel lines, and that should be changed. It's too white. It needs to be a little bit more yellow because you've been using this. You got your hands on it. You've been out shooting ecliptics or pirates or spacers. It's going to be dirty, and this is far too clean looking. So I had to clean it up. Again, I have plenty of stuff to put on this channel that I don't even really have to paint too much. I mean, that is weathering to make it look right. So, yeah, I'm probably going to start doing some of that. The other problem is time. I am having to rebuild my business for the 2nd or 3rd time. Again, people aren't following their contracts. And I'm investing a lot of time in it to rebuild it. It's working. The business is coming back. Probably in a 1.5 years from now, my income will be back where it was before COVID. It's just going to take a 1.5 years to get there. Okay? And hopefully I can survive that long, keeping my bills paid, keeping this house under me, keeping food on the table for the kids. All right, this video's been far than long enough. I will link my other channel in the bottom because one of the things I've always wanted in life was Devastator, a Transformer. I got one. This is a new release, so it's much bigger than the old one. And there's complaints about him, but I will make video review of pulling him out of the box on the other channel because that's an auto model kit. So hopefully you feel updated. I'm going to try to do at least a once-a-month video for a bit. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how overwhelmed I get. We'll see if I can get my video editing fixed. We'll see a lot of things. But this video is long enough at this point. I bid you a good day. I got a little impatient and went ahead and glued both wings on, and I half broke this wing. So what I'm going to have to do is make some epoxy resin. You can see it flopping. It's a little floppy, and I don't want to push it too much. It is still attached. I'm going to get some epoxy resin and just fill it along that gap along there. And it'll probably hold it. But right now, I'm going to let it sit overnight before I do anything, or at least an hour or 2. I got to mix some resin up for a light box I made. Anyhow. So it'll get corrected. I don't really want to reprint this thing for a 3rd or 4th time. And I don't have the blue filament anymore. So one of the things with working with silk filament is it is weak. I don't care how much infill you use in it, it's weak. So learning a lesson here. I'll be back later. I'm printing up a couple more of those Novolite pistols. So I have a couple of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. We'll see. I'm not really into cosplay. I just think I want to put them in a display shelf somewhere, just so people can see them. And yeah, I'll be back.